My name is Trevor Hewitt, and I'm from Cowpen, South Carolina. It's a one red light town right outside of Spartanburg, South Carolina. I play music for a living. It's something I love, something I've always done since I was a little kid. I started playing in church. I actually sang some in the Marine Corps. I joined in the Marine Corps in 2006 and served there and as a reservist, as an ammo technician, which is pretty cool. But just been singing my whole life, basically. I started playing music probably when I was younger. I sang in the choir. I sang in the choir from probably ages 8, 9, 10 years old. In 6th grade, I had a teacher named Miss Pittard, and she was one of the coolest teachers that I think I ever had. And she pushed me so hard to just keep going with my music. And I was one of the only kids from the 6th grade to the 12th grade to stay in chorus the entire time. And still to this day, I keep up with her, and she tells me all the time, how proud of me she is and how good I've been doing in my music. And she was just one of the bigger influences in my life growing up. I started the Trevor Hewitt Band when I was probably about 24, 25 years old. And I've been at it now for probably about 6, 7 years. And just been pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing as hard as I can. The very first tune I ever learned on the guitar was Can't You See by the Marshall Tucker Band. It was a really easy song, DCG, and I told myself, I'm going to learn this song. And I sat there probably, and it was before the YouTube day, so we didn't have YouTube, we couldn't look up, we didn't have guitar tabs, we didn't have stuff like that. I had to just go get a poster from Walmart, and it was, the chord poster, the chord progressions and stuff like that, and I learned how to play a D, a C, and a G, and I had it on the back of my bedroom door all growing up. And that's how I learned how to play the guitar. I just taught myself. I never took a lesson, anything like that. And just had friends show me, little things here and there. And, I've always just kept pushing. But Can't You See was the first song I ever learned how to play and actually sing all the way through. And I still, to this day, that's the last song I played at all of my shows. It's probably one of my favorite songs. Well, actually, in 2016, I got a chance to meet Doug Gray. We met, and I got to go to a show and watch him sing, and he actually pulled me up on the stage to sing Can't You See with him. And man, it was probably one of the coolest things ever. I got to get in front of like a sold-out crowd at the Fillmore in Charlotte and get out there and belted Can't You See with everything I had, and it was still probably one of the top 5, 6 moments of my life. It was pretty cool. We got to talking, and I gave him a bunch of my music, and he asked me if I wanted to have a record deal with him. So, I started traveling some with him and went on the road with him a little while and got to open up for him. And man, that was some really, really cool parts of my life. I go back and I look at those, and I got to meet Greg Allman. I got to meet Pat Benatar. I got to meet REO Speedwagon, their whole band, like some of the greatest musicians that I grew up listening to on the Rock Legends cruise, and I got to go 2 years in a row, and it was really neat. But in the middle of the ocean, getting to sing "Can't You See" in front of thousands and thousands of fans, I mean, it's just a dream come true. It was definitely something else. So my time with them was very well spent. I had a lot of fun with them, and everything happens for a reason. So we're not together anymore, but it's all gravy. I still keep pushing, still support them, still love them. So hopefully one day, they'll get me back out there playing with them and stuff. It'll be pretty cool. Right now, my favorite musician might sound crazy, but I'm a big Post Malone fan. I'm a big fan of Post Malone and Chris Stapleton. I mean, I know those are like totally two different spectrums, but I'm a big fan of Post Malone and a big fan of Chris Stapleton right now. I'd probably have listened to all their albums, actually not both of them, but I've probably listened to all their albums 50, 60 times through. I love them. Like, I just think they're so talented. Just the way they use their words and, tell stories in their songs. It's just, I try to strive to be, more of a storyteller myself when I write music, and those guys are just crazy talented at it. And a lot of arm work done, so I'm almost fully out of room on my arms, but I don't think there's any face tattoos in the future. Not for me. Shout out to my buddy Mike Tats, who does my tattoos. He's at Palmetto Inc. He's one of the owners. Go check him out. Nah, I haven't been nervous in probably 10 years getting up singing. The first time I ever got to sing with Marshall Tucker, actually opening up as a full band, my wife asked me, she says, are you nervous? Like, what's wrong? I'm like, I'm not nervous. Like, I was made for this. Like, I knew in those moments when I had bigger shows, and instead of, getting nervous and backing down, every time I've always just been the guy that's like, let's do this. Like, I was made for this. Like, why get nervous when it's something that I eat, live, and breathe? Like, I love it. Like, everything about it, I love it. And, never one time have I got nervous before a show. Never. Well, the biggest obligation I got right now is my wife and my daughter. They're everything to me. So, having to leave and go out of town to play music, that's probably the roughest thing, is getting out of town and missing them, so much, because, we've always been really close, because I've always owned my own business, so I'm usually home more of the day, and she is a hairdresser, so she has always been home, most of the day too. So we get to spend a ton of time together, which is so valuable to me. I say everything happens for a reason. I don't have a record deal anymore, but I get to spend so much time with my family, so much time with my wife and my little girl, and I wouldn't trade that for the world. every single day I get to spend time with them, and to me, that's gold. You can't. Nothing beats that. Like, I run a pest control business, and, there's a lot of things go on, but, there's not enough hours in the day, but I might sleep 6-7 hours. I might get 8 every now and again. But every morning I'm up trying to get back to the gym, get back in shape, get healthy, and still be the stay-at-home dad and love on my wife and my little girl, and then focus on writing, and then doing pest control on top of that. It's rough, man, but, somebody's got to do it. Oh, man, I don't know if I can talk about that. But, here goes. Well, I played at a little bar called The Station right here in Simpsonville, and it was an older couple. They were probably, I don't know, I don't want to say it's old because my parents are that age, but probably about, late 50s, early 60s. That's not old. I'll take that. That's not old at all. But they were drinking heavily, having a good time, and, I'm not a big drinker, so I don't, when I go to the shows, I have a good time and I deal, with people that act crazy. But after the show, she walks up to me and she goes, "Man, you are one handsome man." And she grabs me by my beard, and, I don't know what it is with people in my beard. They just want to put their hands in it and touch it. I think that's the weirdest thing in the world. But she grabbed my beard and she licks me from the base of my neck. Now, keep in mind, I'm a 300-pound man sweating from a 4-hour show, like, disgusting, man. Licks me from the bottom of my neck all the way to the top, and she tells me, "I'm taking you home tonight." I said, "No, you're not." And she said, "Yeah, my husband told me I could take you home." So it was really, 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 really awkward. And she sat outside, really wanting to take me home, and I kept telling her, I got to get on back to my wife. And she sat out there for probably a good hour thinking, as we were, breaking down, and she really thought I was going home with her, but she was mistaken, because I got right in the car, dipped on back to the house. I don't listen to the radio. I'm a big, I listen to, I got Apple Music. So, Apple Music nowadays, you pay $15 and you can listen to anything you want. So, like I said, I go back and listen to older stuff, and a lot of times I work on my own music. I try to, when I'm going on the road, I'll listen to stuff I need to fix and written songs and stuff like that. Like, I'm just so focused on, myself, that I'm trying to get my own music out there, and I want people to support my music and listen to my music, that, I don't really have a lot of time for the radio anymore. And I don't watch TV either. I'm not a big everybody says, "What do you watch on TV?" I'm like, football. That's about it. When football's on, that TV is on. Man, I'm all about the South Carolina Gamecocks, and and I'm also a big Green Bay Packer fan. So those are my football teams. I've been fans of those for a long, long, long time. I wrote the Clemson Butthole song, and it had right at 1 million views, and then my Facebook got deleted. And it was because people just kept, reporting me, and I guess people were mad because of the song. But, I got a lot of love off that video, and I feel like I lost 20,000 fans on Facebook. 20,000. You know how hard that was? My favorite place I've ever played was House of Blues in Myrtle Beach. That was really, really neat. We got to open up for Marshall Tucker, and man, just the backstage area was super neat. And they had like 3 meals for us, like lunch, dinner, and then like some snacks afterwards, and all the alcohol you could fathom. Like, it was just, they treated us like kings. You can follow me on Facebook, facebook.com/the Trevor Hewitt Band. It used to be Trevor Hewitt Band, but that page got deleted, so now it's the Trevor Hewitt Band. Then you can follow me on Instagram at Trevor Hewitt Music, and you also can follow me on Snapchat, MT Hewitt. I love Snapchat. Snapchat's probably my favorite. I tell people all the time at the shows, send me a Snapchat of me playing or something funny, you know, because that's my favorite thing to do at the end of the night, just to wind down, watch those Snapchats of people that come to the show. It's really cool. And then YouTube, that's where I have my most followers. Just type in Trevor Hewitt and it'll pop up to my page, and YouTube's where it's at, man. Me and my wife do videos. Me and my little girl do videos. Like, it's definitely a family-friendly page, so.